It's gonna get a little weird, gonna get a little wild. I ain't from around here, I'm from another dimension. Star vs. the Forces of Evil by Darren Nefsey. I like it. It's good. It's a good show. Apart from Gravity Falls and Paul Rudish's Mickey Mouse shorts, this is the next best thing. Early this year, I sat down and binge-watched the whole first season of the show, and there are a couple of things I want to say about it. Number 1, Star Butterfly is goddamn adorable. Look at her! Your heart has to be made of freaking stone if you don't crack a smile whenever she's around. And she can kick ass like nobody's business. I think Star Butterfly is what you get when you put all of those Genki girl characters over the years into this one gigantic bubbling cauldron, and you include a huge ounce of caffeine and a nuclear warhead into the mix. Yeah, that's Star Butterfly in a nutshell for you. I'm not saying that like it's a bad thing. Oh no, don't get me wrong. Number 2, Star Butterfly and Marco Diaz are adorable. Yes, I'm a shameless shipper as well, so there you go. On the subject of Marco, I'm really happy that they didn't turn him into yet another one of those bumbling, unhelpful, idiotic sidekicks. He kicks about as much ass as Star does. But I have to say that the whole Karate Master thing from the first episode came out of nowhere, or it was rushed. I don't like using that word at all. Seriously, kid, what are you supposed to be? Are you a worrywart? Are you a badass? Are you a combination of the two somehow? I'm still confused to this day. Not gonna complain too much though, because like I said, Marco is useful in a fight. And I don't care what the show or anyone else has to say. Marco and Star are the one true pairing. Number 3, those are some really weird dimensions. Well, not really, Muni. It's your typical fantasy genre fare. Part medieval, part Victorian, part modern day. But these other worlds are too specific, wouldn't you say? You got an arcade world, you got a Best Buy world, you got a ballroom dancing world. What's next, a brothel world? Actually, no. Forget I ever said that. Number 4, did they seriously get Dexter on board for this series? No, not that Dexter. The other one. Yes, that's the one, him. Yeah, that alligator in the nice suit? That's Dexter. No wonder he's more intelligent than Ludo. And that finale. Holy motherfuck. No! Stars won. It's gone. Stars won. Oh. Toffee, you are one evil son of a gun. Just kidding. There's a tiny unicorn inside of it that acts as a spare battery. Was anyone expecting that? I wasn't. Number 5, is it just me, or are the students in this high school, except for Marco, a bunch of brown noses? Sure, Star gets along fine with a lot of them, except for the bully, of course. But I don't know. I'm sensing that some of these guys have ulterior motives behind them. Or maybe they don't want to get on her bad side. Let's face it, if she wants to, she could nuke the entire school into the ground. That's Madoka levels of dark. She wouldn't do that. So, in short, I think this show's pretty good. If Disney is smart about this, they won't, I repeat, won't, shaft this show like they did a certain other show recently. No, I'm still not over that, and I never will be. But from the looks of it, I don't think they will. Star is already getting a 3rd season, even before the 2nd one premieres. Yeah. Really messed up business model there, Disney. Supposedly, the 2nd season is scheduled to premiere sometime in July. And I'm excited for that. I really enjoyed the 1st season, so it only makes sense that I'm hyped for the 2nd one. But, and a big but, I'm hoping to find certain things in season 2. Think of it as my wish list. You know, the ones that we write up a couple of days, weeks, or months in advance before Christmas or our birthdays. So let's get down to it. Number 1, I'm hoping that Star is a little bit more serious this time around. Like I said, she's a great character, definitely the kind of person I'd want to be around in real life. But she could approach these emotionally heavy, pivotal moments with a little bit more maturity. You know, Have her talk at a slower pace than she normally would, so as to cement the idea that she's in a high-stakes situation. Case in point, the Season 1 finale was really good. It answered a lot of questions that fans might have been asking throughout the season. It established a good conflict between Star and Marco and resolved that conflict in a well-paced manner. And it also asked a bunch of brand new questions that got the fans even more interested than they already are. But I did find that Star's usual fast-paced talking killed the mood in certain points that are supposed to tug at our heartstrings. It would have been fine in the standalone episodes where Star and Marco had to deal with Ludo and the rest of the Rogues Gallery. And they do make it clear that Star is very affected by the turn of events in the season finale. You know, when she's trying to save Marco, when she's confronting Toffee, when she has to give up her wand. That's all well and good. Those scenes are handled very well. But in instances like that, she could dial down the motor mouth by a couple of notches. It'll give scenes like that a little more poignancy, a little more weight. Have a character act just a tiny bit out of character so that the audience is completely emotionally invested. Number 2, dive further into Marco's karate expertise. If Star can have character development, there's no reason that Marco can't. Marco is a badass, we already know that, but they can go further than that by showing us how that badassery came to be and developing that badassery over the course of the second season. Maybe they can do so through Marco's karate, develop him as a person and let that development manifest through Marco's gradual improvements in his karate. Or it can be the other way around. Marco can develop his karate a little more and that can translate into personal development and the strengthening of his relationship with his family, his friends, and especially Star. That's personally what I would do, because it's killing two birds with one stone. Number 3, develop the universe that the show takes place in even further. Apart from Muni and all the other worlds that we saw in Season 1, they could introduce a whole slew of new worlds. One of them could be another world that has its own kingdom that might be a rival to Muni. It'll add a fascinating layer of depth, not just to Star, but her family as well. It could give the show's mythos a more dynamic feel, and make it more immersive. So something like this, and the Marco idea that I brought up, could be their own separate story arcs in Season 2. The crew can set apart a set number of episodes dedicated to those story arcs, and it'll give the audience something to be invested in. They can be something that the audience can discuss about with each other, have them come up with all sorts of ideas, theories, headcanons, have them guess at every single turn. Something that'll get the audience coming back to the show for more. With a concept such as the one that Star versus the Forces of Evil has, it's only natural that there are plenty of blanks to be filled. The only sensible thing to do is to bring that concept to fruition, fill those blanks in, not all at once, but in small bite-sized chunks, little by little, on an episode-by-episode basis, in a properly paced manner. That's storytelling 101. Long story short, if we see a well-established, elaborate universe from this show in Season 2, I'll be happy. Number 4, elaborate on why Toffee wanted to destroy Star's wand. This is one of those questions that I said were brought up during the season finale, and it might be the most important one out of all of them. How important is the wand exactly, and why does Toffee want to destroy it? Does he have some kind of vendetta against the Muni royal family, or does he have personal history with the wand itself, or whoever created that wand in the first place? As for the wand itself, while they're at it, they could address the other unicorn that becomes the new power source for the wand. Yeah, that came out of nowhere, didn't it? It's another layer of depth that the writers can add that'll be much appreciated when they do it well. Number 5, and I know this can't be avoided given what kind of show we're talking about in the first place, But if the writers do high school drama, it has to be meaningful. It has to have a point. It can't be something that's completely detached from the grand scheme of things. It must tie in somehow with whatever major plot that the writers are going to go with. And they can't do it half-assedly. They can't tie this high school drama with the major plot without any kind of thought process behind it. There has to be a coherent, concrete reason behind it. So, for example, Star and Brittany Wong could be in the middle of a disagreement. It can be any kind of disagreement, and Star encounters a pair of interdimensional creatures in the same situation as her and Brittany, and from there, Star discovers a resolution to the conflict not just between those two interdimensional creatures, but to the conflict between her and Brittany. Again, these are just examples. I'm just throwing them out there. So that's my wish list for Star vs. the Forces of Evil Season 2. What do you guys want to see in Season 2? Let's talk about it. And before you guys ask, yes, I would like to cover an ongoing series, and Star vs. the Forces of Evil is most likely going to be one of them. So y'all can stay tuned for that. But until then, I'm the one and only C.R. Martin, and I'll see you guys next time.